to Global Matters with Solange Warner. It is with great honor that I introduce you to our show today, the World Chamber of Commerce International Hero Awards Ceremony. We will be honoring leaders that have made a positive influence in the global community. Thank you so much. We will be right back.
With our first recipient, Mr. Phil Bolton, Global Atlanta publisher, for his great vision and accomplishments that have supported the international community in Atlanta. Please come forward to receive your award.
Not easy to follow Andy Young. Andy, some of us have been listening to you for a long time. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Here. The Council of Denmark, Chris Smith, with his great accomplishments and visionary work within the international community, please step forward to receive your award. Thanks.
I would like to accept this award on behalf of the Danish community here in Georgia. Thank you for all your support.
Thank you. Next recipient is Dr. Helen Gale, President of CARE, for your great initiative that has further strengthened international humanitarian affairs. Thank you.
I would just like to say how proud I am on behalf of the 12,000 employees around the world working for CARE, how pleased we are and how proud to be part of this global community. And thanks as always to Ambassador Young for your vision and all that you have done to really truly make this a global city. So thank you.
Next, the Mayor of Auburn, Linda Bleckinger, for her visionary work in the city of Auburn and getting national recognition for her great accomplishments. Please come forward for your award and photo. Lewis Miller, General Manager of the Atlanta International Airport, recognized for his leadership at the world's busiest airport and its impact on Atlanta and the international community. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to thank Mayor Reed for giving me the ability to have this job and to support me in everything that I do moving forward to make sure we keep Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, keep the international active, and make sure we go forward internationally. Very much. Thank you very much.
Mr. William Pate, President of Atlanta Convention Center and Visitors Bureau, for his great accomplishments for the city and the international community as president of such an important organization as the Atlanta Convention Center.
Thank you. Well, I'd just like to accept this award on behalf of all the people in Atlanta's hospitality industry that work hard every day to make this the most welcoming city in the world. Ambassador Young, when you were mayor, you extended the hand of friendship to of Atlanta throughout the world, and we're very, very pleased to be welcoming millions of international visitors every year. How many now? Almost 10.
Dr. John Hardman, please come forward. President of Carter Center, for his great accomplishments that play such an integral part of the city's cultural and also the amazing work the center does internationally by supporting foreign governments and humanitarian initiatives.
Thank you very much. All of us at the Carter Center are very appreciative of this recognition, and certainly the support that we get from the Consular Corps, from the many international involved companies as we work in the least developed areas of the world, and we do that through major partnerships with all of you. Thank you very much.
Mr. Mark Becker, please step forward. Mr. Mark Becker is president of Georgia State University, is being awarded for his extraordinary work with Georgia State and its impact on the local and international business community, and also great support for WCC.
Thank you very much. Really an honor to accept this award on behalf of the faculty and staff of Georgia State University who are working so diligently to make sure that Georgia State, of course, serves Atlanta and serves the state, but is also preparing our students to work and be leaders globally, because it's a truly global society that they're graduating into, as well as to be able to provide resources and support for the community locally and the companies that work globally. Thank you so much.
The Consul General of the UK, Annabel Mallins, for her visionary work and accomplishments during her term as Consul General of the UK. Please step forward.
Thank you so much for this great honour. It's truly very much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now it is my honor to ask U.S. Ambassador Mr. Charles Shapiro to step forward again and be recognized for his extraordinary accomplishments with free trade agreements in the Western Hemisphere and visionary work with the international community.
Okay. Oh, yes. Here we go. Wait. Thank you all. I can remember, and it must have been around 1960. There used to be, and it may still be there, a sign on Peachtree Road across from the Piedmont Hospital. At the time, it was in front of the Darlington Apartments, and it had Atlanta's population now. And I can remember going up there to watch it turn to 1 million, right? And I was too young at the time to appreciate it, but Atlanta was at a crossroads. We could have gone, I mean, this was in segregated Atlanta of the 1960s. We could have gone the way of Birmingham. But thanks to the visionary leadership of many people in this city, of the civic leadership of this city, Atlanta chose a different path. Ambassador Andrew Young, you're part of that. We here at the World Chamber of Commerce are the inheritors of that. Atlanta is now an international city thanks to those decisions that those civic leaders made way back when. And for me, it is a great honor to be part of this organization and to receive this award on part from the World Chamber of Commerce, and to be part of that inheritance. I want to thank you all very much.
Dean of the Consular Course of Georgia, Consul General Germany, Lutz Gorgens, we're presenting you an award for your extraordinary accomplishments and visionary work as a Dean of the Consular Corps of Georgia. He's the head of 75 consuls in Georgia who are making a positive impact on the economy of the state. Please, thank you.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Do I have a chance to say a few words?
Yes, absolutely, yes.
So I just thank you very much. I'm very honored through the World Chamber of Commerce here, and I accept this award. I'm not the head of 75 or 76 foreign consulates. My leadership reaches just as far as they let me go. They are all representatives of sovereign countries. But I accept this award on their behalf and on behalf of the citizens of all foreign countries who have made Atlanta their temporary or permanent home. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now it's my greatest honor as newly elected president to ask Mr. Ambassador Andrew Young to step forward and be recognized on behalf of World Chamber of Commerce for lifetime achievements in different areas that many people talked about already. And each one with such an important impact on our community. we present it to you, icon of the sound.
Thank you. I talked about the past. Now let's talk about the future. We did a wonderful job of importing the world culturally, business-wise, population. We brought the world to Atlanta. Now our job is to export. And I would like to see us all get together and as we open the international terminal sometime in May, that maybe leading up to that, we should think together about what is it we have that the world needs. Helene Gayle can certainly tell us a whole lot about that from the CARE perspective. The Carter Center can tell us a whole lot. Our airlines have been flying full all over the world. There's just a lot that's going on here. And if you forgive me for taking 3 minutes more, what the Atlanta airport did was to generate a facility that possibly cost somewhere between $10 and $15 billion. I don't know how much. And you know, nobody cares. And the reason we don't care is because at the last count I had, it earns about $31 billion and employs about 55,000 people. And it doesn't cost any of us anything. We have put democracy and capitalism together, and we've made it work in a way that I have not seen anywhere else in the world. I hope that Britain is going to have a successful and positive Olympics, and they do everything well that they do. The British get it right. But we did ours with no government money and ran a profit. And they have not been able to do that anywhere else yet. I think that if we're going to stabilize the planet on which we live, a lot of the ideas and experiences that we have had together here in Atlanta, and we didn't bring the Olympics to Atlanta, the Council of Core brought the Olympics to Atlanta. Businesses brought Olympics to Atlanta. Coca-Cola was international before any of us even knew international was cool. And so we are what we are. And I think the world needs everything we have. And if there is to be peace and prosperity on this planet, there's a special role for Atlanta. And I think we have exactly the right mayor, who didn't start in Atlanta, though he will open the international terminal at the airport. But he's now working to widen. Stop and think with me for a minute. President Carter went down and negotiated a treaty with the people of Panama. And it could not have been done without the cooperation of our friends in Mexico and Colombia and Venezuela and Jamaica and even Cuba. And we thought that was scandalous. But we didn't spend any money, we didn't kill anybody, and we didn't get anybody killed. Now, as they are widening that canal, I understand they're charging $350,000 for a ship to come through there. That's some toll road. But where do the ships land when they get here? The ships are too big to get into New York, Boston, Philadelphia. They might get into Norfolk, but when they get into Norfolk, they don't have anywhere to go because there are no roads going to Norfolk. Norfolk is a Navy station. The only place that has the capacity to open America to the world of super tankers has got to be between Brunswick and Savannah. And that's where our mayor is working. And so when we talk about a transportation initiative, and I'm sure the mayor will talk about it, we're really talking about not meeting traffic problems here, but we're talking about extending a vision of making Atlanta more and more an export center as well as an import center.
I know about people standing in the back, but I want to say a few words about President Uribe. I remember back when I was in university, we used to have these great debates about whether it was enormous forces of history that shape history or whether individuals shape history. The answer to that question is here with us tonight. When I first visited Colombia in the 1980s, it was really a failed society in many ways, a failed nation. Poverty was rampant. The country had been at war for, at that point, 35, 40 years. Medellin and Cali cartels were household words that we knew in the United States. Human rights abuses were rampant. Colombians were fleeing their country. Foreign investors did not want to have anything to do with Colombia. Colombians had lost faith in the future of their nation. One person did not lose faith in Colombia, and that is Álvaro Uribe. First, as mayor of Medellin, governor of Antioquia, senator, and then as president for 2 terms. President Uribe restored Colombians' faith in their self and their sense of optimism in the future, so that today Colombia is a nation which has been absolutely transformed. It is a country that is booming economically, where the poverty rate is dropping, where foreign investors are flocking, where the amount of oil produced has doubled, where human rights abuses are news because they are rare, where the nation is judging itself. It is a country which has changed because of President Álvaro Uribe. And one last point, and that is that President Uribe was tempted, is that the right word, to change the Constitution, to have his allies in the Congress modify the Constitution so that he could run for a 3rd term. And President Uribe made the decision, as George Washington did, that Colombian democracy would be sounder if he did not do that. If he turned the reins of government over to whomever the people of Colombia elected. And that is what indeed has happened. And so, President Uribe, I want to salute you. It's an honor for me to be here with you and to, as you receive this award from the World Chamber of Commerce of Atlanta. And I want to thank you so much for what you have done for Colombia. And as an American, I hope we are smart enough. To understand the opportunities that are there for us in Colombia, in South America, in Latin America generally, if we are smart enough to take advantage of them. And if we are smart enough to use the model that Colombia represents and encourage other nations to try to emulate that model. President Uribe, thank you so much for all that you have done.
Former President of Colombia, Mr. Alvaro Uribe. Please step forward. It is my greatest honor to present you with this award on behalf of World Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you. I want to express my gratitude for this great honor. I am not the one deserving this decoration. This decoration is deserved by the many Colombians whose families have suffered a long life of violence and terrorism because of narco-trafficking. This award is deserved by the heroism of our military, of our armed forces that have sacrificed their lives for the well-being of Colombians. I am very happy because in the last month, our two countries finally ratified the bilateral free trade agreement. The application of this free trade agreement will create stronger links between our two countries. And the more we access to markets, such as the market of the United States, the better for my country to overcome insecurity, to overcome poverty and terrorism. Let me say to you that it is very important to keep with the strongest stand against narco-trafficking. It is very important to maintain this stand. The only way I have to compensate you for this award is to say to you that for the rest of my life, I am committed to fight every day the hardest I can for the well-being of 46 million people living in Colombia. And finally, let me reiterate my gratitude to you because of your permanent hospitality with many Colombians living here in this great city of Atlanta. They have enjoyed this city, and I find them happy living here because of your friendship. Thank you very much.
We've been extremely fortunate. And if you look at the history of this city, I only go back as far as Hartsfield. But Hartsfield was the one who built jet-length runways when we only had a Quonset hut for a terminal. He also decided that we could only make it if we made it black and white together. It was Hartsfield who reached out to the Atlanta University complex. It was Ivan Allen who came behind him and built the first big airport. Ivan Allen was followed by Sam Massell, who led us into the modern age with mass transportation. Maynard Jackson then took our airport and our economy to a new level. And following Maynard Jackson, with all of this infrastructure waiting, I was able to come in and help fill it. And we have seen this city grow because we have always put forward good leadership. Bill Campbell developed our communities, and we have community centers, and we have an understanding of business at just about every level. Shirley Franklin came along and realized that everything on top of the ground was looking good, but underground we had real problems. So the beautiful little woman designated herself the sewer mayor. and revised our underground infrastructure. I don't get flooded in my house, but there's a 40-foot tunnel that flows water under my house. And now we have a young man that I met when he was 19. And I saw a vision in him as a college student, being concerned about others, having a broader vision than just the issues at hand. And I said to him, look, hurry up and finish school, come back to Atlanta and run for something, because we're going to need a mayor like you in about 20 years. Well, it was exactly 20 years, just about his 39th birthday, that we elected him mayor. But before that, he had spent 8 years in the House of Representatives and the General Assembly, and 12 years in the Senate. And one of the reasons why he's concerned about Savannah and Brunswick and the rest of the entire state is because he has worked with and knows the elected leadership of those areas. And he sees Atlanta as a part of a global renaissance in export trade. And so you could not do better than to give our mayor this award, for he's already done things that most of us could not have imagined. And we ain't heard nothing yet. Mayor Kasim Reed.
Very wonderful ending to a day. Well, first, I couldn't be more pleased than to receive an award at the hand of Ambassador Young, a person who played such an important role in my decision to enter politics, and then in my having the opportunity to be mayor of the city of Atlanta. To the distinguished Consular Corps and all of our guests, I believe President Uribe is here, Mr. President. Thank you so much for being here. I'm delighted to receive this award because I believe it's a continuation of Ambassador Young's vision so many years ago. When he was mayor of the city of Atlanta, and he talked about Atlanta being an international city, and when he traveled around the world when he was mayor, people used to ask him all of the time why in the world he was going to Africa and Asia and around the world all of the time, certainly South America. And he talked about Atlanta as an international city before that ever actually came into being. So it really is Ambassador Young's vision and the vision of our city's business leaders that have brought us to where we are today. A city that is certainly an international city. And I think the highlight of that was when, once again, with Ambassador Young and Billy Payne's leadership, when we won the Centennial Olympic Games, which is really why people know the name of the city of Atlanta. But now what we have to do really is to continue with that legacy and put more and more substance on that. And I believe that the opportunity to trade with people around the world, but more than just trade, to build unique and special and vibrant relationships as we become more global, all of us, really is going to make Atlanta unique. We have an asset that you all know about, and that is Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, which is the busiest passenger airport on the planet Earth. And see, I happen to believe that the future of friendship and commerce and trade is going to be based on the fact that people actually want to go home now. You know, I think there was a time, President Uribe, when you would want to visit the United States and stay and stay and stay. I believe that people now want to visit, conduct their business, see their friends, and then be able to get back home to their family and friends as expeditiously as possible. I think we're going to be able to do that better than or as well as any city in the world. and certainly as well as any southern city in the United States of America. And also embracing different cultures, different ethnicities, different groups of people with different backgrounds is a part of our DNA. It's the reason that we survived and thrived during the civil and human rights movement in the United States of America, because we were making the decisions that included and expanded the definition of success when other cities, certainly in the South, were choosing to be harsh and choosing to be closed and choosing not to embrace inclusion. And we've got some work to do with regard to the state being more sensitive. But I certainly want people to know that Atlanta is a city with an open heart that enjoys its position in the United States, in the South, and certainly the world. And I only believe that we become stronger each and every time a city of the world or another country chooses to plant a flag in the city of Atlanta, whether it's through a consular corps or business investment or the decision to live and locate here. So I think that our future is only going to get brighter. So you all have given me an award early in my career as mayor. I plan for it to be a long career, and I plan to wake up every single day of being worthy of this extraordinary honor that you bestowed upon me this evening. President Uribe, thank you so much for being here. Ambassador Young, thank you for what you've done for my life and for the lives of so many people in Atlanta, Georgia, the United States of America, and the world. God bless you, and thank you for having me.